Good morning. This is the crypto day morning for Thursday, 27th day of September 2018. My name is Derek. All trades bets and of the like within one's own risk reward. The video, well, that will contain the Bitcoin charts. Not much to go over there. US dollar, as far as trading it on the crypto exchanges, a new stable US cross is available. I'm going to talk about that. And the number 32, and not really much about the actual number, but over the last 32 hours, I have had $32 approximately in trades. My volume, that's about the lowest it's been since the Bitcoin Cash time frame, when I was getting, when I basically stopped trading for a couple of days. Okay. So I'll talk about the low volatility as the third and final segment. As far as the Bitcoin is concerned, all of these lower highs within the market, of course, we have the big ones back in here and before, but you got a lower high in here. We got this lower high, we got this one, and now we got this one, but the question mark, it may not be that of a lower high, although it could be. As within the movements of this chart, the price action managed to get above the 18 average of highs, or also above this decent level of resistance at around 6,500, and has came back down. And 2 days ago, it came back down to the 18 average of lows, which, when it's a newly rising 18 lows and you thus hit it as support, it's going to be a higher low every time. And the last previous low in that 6,100. So if it can rally from here and you start to see price action getting above the 1866 and change, at least 6650, then we'd be talking about, okay, so it looks like it's that of a successful correctionary move, and that the market status is most likely going to break that level of resistance. At least that's how I'll be looking at the situation. If I see weakness amongst here, where it doesn't hold too well, starts to 18 average starts to roll over, we see weakness and price action hanging in at around 63, or if it just merely breaks it convincingly, with the exception of a possible failed breakdown and the fact that this is just a choppy market, it's going to be back to another situation of, okay, I would call the, what is it, yellow flag, red flag, or whatever. I'm going to say a yellow flag again. I mean, it's been stingy as Bitcoin within this area has been supporting it. But with all these lower highs, if weakness comes in, it could be a not so beautiful sight for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin bulls. Looking at this on a single hour time frame, two levels of support hit at 64.31. That's the key area of support. The range of resistance is between 6,500 and that of 6,540 on the short term. Convincingly breaking 6,540, I would expect probably a fast move at least into the low 6,600 area if such an event can take place. I do like how it's looking right now on the 15-minute time frame, as there's been two support hits at the 18 of lows, two resistance plays at the highs that preceded, of course, the low hit. And right now it had a period before where it convincingly got out of the 18 average. It hasn't convincingly broke it yet. And with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go within the period, it is 7:40 a.m. Eastern Time. And so it'll conclude at 7:45 a.m., but it's holding in within that place. So I like the setup this could have for that of a decent game. Segment number 2, US fiat currency. And I'll put up a chart of the true US dollar, which is code TUS, or true US dollar. In fact, I want to get this against USDT, so I'll put that in now. I thought that it was. I kind of thought it looked weird how there should be more data. And I'll use the one on Bittrex. And I'm going to take a look at the Binance one after this, because I'm going to be curious. Well, these are two situations or two spots where you can hold US dollars in a cryptocurrency portfolio exchange, which is what I am using for my hedge or my quote-unquote short that I've done, and a very small one at that, on Bitcoin, where I have a buy order for the equivalency of $3,000 per coin, which is on the TUSD, 16 or 32,000, I think. All right. Interesting moves here. I mean, what happened here to get this to 104? Here's a spot here where if you had buy orders, they all hit, at least up down to this number here. Had the situation here. This is when Binance was getting into it. We can see it went up to $1.50. So if you had sell orders in on this at big levels, you had some seriously amazing gains that came in the market, and then a decent one that came thereafter it. So let's take a look at this on the Binance exchange, exact same code or pairing. And within such, a few interesting moves where you can see how it got up to 105, and I mean, this thing should always be trading at 1. And it's basically always trading microscopically above it, which tells you that the true US dollar market is better than the Tether marginally. As far as, is there any way to profit on this? If you put your buy orders down here at 117 and your sell orders at about 126, I don't even know if that's not even going to pay your rake. So it's pretty much the only way I think you could trade it for profits is I don't think, well, there really isn't it. I guess you could put the buy and sell orders in at those high numbers. But it's a risk within these coins. The Tether, I've heard a lot of bad things about. And I just recently seen that there's a new coin, the third one. And it's USDC. Tokenize and redeem US dollar coin. And I want to make this a little bit bigger. US dollar coin is a fully collateralized fiat stable coin. With Circle, you can tokenize fiat currency into USDC and transfer it to compatible ERC20 wallets and services. You can also transfer this into your Circle account and redeem it for fiat currency. So you can actually get dollars with it, which, can you do that with Tether? Can you do that with the true US dollar coin? For more information, and if you click on the getting started, interestingly enough, and I'm going to do the same thing again as far as it tells you where the supported countries are. And I find it interesting, and I don't know I didn't learn U.S. postal codes, and I'm only guessing Hawaii is HI because I cannot think of another state that begins with the letter H. But I know this is New York and Minnesota. So the states of New York and Minnesota, you can't get it. Now, if you have an account, and the only place I know that is adopting this, and there's probably going to be more, but I know for sure Poloniex is doing such. So I probably, as a trader, will turn my TUSD into USDC. I'm not going to buy it. Rather, I'm going to send the funds to just buy it on an exchange, that is. I'm not going to buy it from the actual Circle.com, which is supporting such. And I'm going to move this on to Ripple against the US dollar Tether. And as far as its actual technical analysis is concerned, after a decent size quick push higher, it has done a lot of consolidating within this congestion area right now around this 50-cent mark, but it's moved in within the 18. However, in a situation if something quote-unquote is to be bad, or if, say, Tether is to fail, what's going to happen within these markets? Well, you're going to notice that a lot of these would go way higher as this would go without Ripple going up, or all the coins, Bitcoin, EOS, Litecoin, Ethereum, all the ones that you could trade against the Tether will go up. And that's not because those coins would be going higher. It would be because your coin, the Tether, would be falling on you. So that's how it would be going on. Most likely you'd be seeing wallets being turned off and a lot of uncomfortable volume along the way. And then you would see that chart that I showed of the Tether against like the other dollars. Well, of course, there's going to be a crash move there as well. Will it happen? You know, I'm not too sure, but it's if they don't have what they say they have, do you really think that the Tether is going to do well? And then when we talk about that, within stuff like gold, silver, that's the same question that's been going on for quite some time. And that's, of course, within the derivatives markets. And it's not just gold and silver, but anyway. Let's talk about the low volatility. And I'll start off within THETA, which has been in a downtrend. And the current trend has been, this has been pretty much the typical market lately, as it has been going just painfully sideways for me. As long as the market's moved, that's what I want. Of course, if it just keeps going straight down like this, well, that's kind of the worst thing for me, because that would be a total reduction in fiat currency. But if I have moves like this occur with altcoins and what I'm trading in my pairings, and the next thing you know, they go way up like we've seen with Ripple, then those who held on during the dark times are going to get paid off. So there's going to be selling. A lot of it is going to be through that of fear, and then people just losing patience and such. But I haven't made a THETA trade in quite some time. In the last 32 hours, not counting the last 20 minutes, I have made basically one trade for about $32 in volume. And that would be within this code ARN. And it's got an interesting setup. I thought about selling everything on it yesterday, but I can't. The volume, there wasn't much volume yesterday. Although when you look at the short term, there was a moment where I'm like, oh my, do I sell it all? And I'm glad I didn't right now. It's at 57.22. Let's take a look at this on the single hour time frame. I ended up selling at around 5,000. So I sold yesterday morning up at this top area. I didn't buy back in here. I would have bought back if it went to the 18 of lows, but it didn't go there. Then I ended up selling at about 6,000 in here. My buy order was for 5,000, so it didn't hit. But this volume in here, okay, I thought afterwards when it was in here, do I sell it all when it was at 5,400? That's what I was thinking to myself, and I'm like, no, not going to do it. As far as how it's been holding, I like how it's been holding this 18 average. Interestingly, it's just given a lot back in the last little bit, but it's all productive in the situation here. You establish this level of resistance, and that's in between this range of about 55.62 and 56.87 where it's at now. So it's came back to where it came from. It's came back to the 18 average after leaving on the breakout here. Now, I stopped trading Bitcoin Cash. As far as trading it, I'm wagering it, but I'm not trading it. Thankfully, Mitch Marner got 4 points yesterday. The Leafs won by 2, and I got a small win there in Bitcoin Cash. But let's take a look at it via the US dollar. And we'll start with a 3-day time frame, which had a really quick move up to about 4,000. So 4,000 now at 575. That's down quite a bit. Well, 400, that would be, it was down almost 10 times. So now it's down about 7x or something, or 8x. Either way, it's having another 18 average test on the 18 on the 3-day within the single day time frame. I ended up seeing this have a nice little breakout pattern. As it got above the 18 average here, came down to the 18 average of lows, then A convincing day breaking it yesterday, breaking out of the 18 that is, and today it's convincingly breaking higher. Single hour time frame. Look at this fast moves. When it wants to go, it goes. So it goes from 449 to like 540-ish or so, like instantly, within just a couple of hours. That's over 20%. Has the successful, but it's looking to be now, anyway, with this current green candle breaking 18, a sideways correction, mainly between 542 and that of about a little over 500, or even about 513, 510. We can see on the 15, there's that clear break. So this has definitely got the potential to go. And this is by far my lowest owned coin. For I got out of it probably in here somewhere, around 600. So it's or where it would be now, maybe a little above, a little below. And then I thought, you know what, let's make a few bets. And I have within cryptocurrencies. And yeah, I've been able to get it up to about, well, I got 0.13. So that's like about a little over $70. Don't have much of it at all. But it has the potential for some superior gains, as like all cryptocurrencies, when they're ready to go, if this thing comes back and just even tests within this area here, and this could happen in like 3-4 periods, 4 days, then you'd end up getting a move to well over 1100. So that's a pretty good move, if of course it's going to do that. And then it could even go higher than that. Now that's really what it comes down to, is the state of cryptocurrencies. And if everything ends up going together, you're going to see this doing the same thing. If everything goes down together, same thing again. It's just got its wild volatile moves. There's going to be coins, of course, more volatile than such, like NEO, which is formerly known as Ant Shares. Remember those days when Ant Shares was breaking it before this time frame even existed, well before it was $10. Okay, so it goes from 183. It's already down more than 10x, and it has been down more. And if you're looking for coins that you think are stable, which I think it's like the Chinese Ethereum. I don't know if it is stable as in it's good to go as long as crypto space does well. It is down. It's down a lot right now. And coins like Ripple, Bitcoin Cash have already started its move. But when it comes down to it, most of these coins haven't had, including Ripple itself, any large significant moves. The market has been trying to rebound from this bear market of the lower highs matching lows that's been on Bitcoin. And as far as all cryptos in general, at least excluding Bitcoin, it has been lower highs and lower lows throughout the entire way. And a decent rally, and you're going to see this with a lot of coins, April 1st to about May 5th or 6th. What's this top at? April 29th in this case. The April Fool's rally had a lot of decent sized moves. In this case, it went from 46 up to 93. Ethereum had a very big April Fool's rally, as it was like 1400 almost in here. The April Fool's bottom got down to 370. So it was already down about 3x, and then 370 up to about 840. So better than a 2x move. And since then, it's been nothing but pretty much straight down. There has been, via the daily term time frame, hardly any action above the 18 of highs. Barely getting above here in July, and then straight down, barely above here before the fall in here. But now it has had this breakout on September 21st, clearly getting out above the 18 of highs, establishing a level of resistance. So as far as reversal trend, stage 1, band flattening out, which is around September 19th. Stage 2, established resistance, which it was done on 22nd of September. That level is $255.70 within the Poloniex exchange anyway. Step 3, come back to the band, which it has done. It has been on the 18 average of lows. This is the 3rd consecutive day it is down there. And if it can get above 236, 238, I talked about this with Bitcoin, same analysis. If it gets above the 18 average of highs, after a move where you see the 18 lows work out as it has, they're probably going to get above this and test a level of resistance. Okay, why won't it scroll? There we go. And you get a quick move, probably at least to about 300 if it breaks this level of resistance. But I'm trying to scroll more. Yeah. What's the key move? Really, the major level of resistance I'm going to be looking for when this gets going, as far as its next one, is going to be between 370 and 435, which is a support from April and the June-July support. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.